Hello, this is Kate from dailytarotcard.com, and this is your weekly tarot card reading. And for this week's reading, I'm using the Everyday Witch Tarot. And I'm a little bit late uploading this reading. I was feeling a little bit under the weather, and I've just been feeling so exhausted, and I tried several times to make this reading and it just wasn't happening. It was not working, and then my cat kept knocking over my camera and it was just a disaster, so that's why it's a little bit late. So I apologize for making you wait. Okay, so let's get started. So card number 1 is going to represent Monday and Tuesday of the upcoming week. And we have number 5, the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is all about, there's a few different themes with the Hierophant. Now, with this particular card, this is about finding a teacher that is right for you, or being willing to learn something. And in this card, we see a yoga teacher or a meditation teacher teaching students to meditate. And I feel like the message with this card is that you have a lot that you can learn from someone in your life. And this might be obvious, like it might be an actual teacher, or it might be just a friend or someone that you know, but someone that can teach you some kind of skill that is going to be really valuable to you. So the beginning of the week is all about keeping your eyes open for that teacher and being willing to learn. I think that's the key here, is being willing to learn. And I think whenever we're learning something new, we have to be willing to not be the expert. So we have to kind of like suspend, I almost want to say like, not suspend judgment, but just allow yourself to kind of be humble and be a student and, you know, step out of being an expert if you're normally used to being an expert in whatever role that you're normally in. But just being able to really open yourself to learning and letting go of kind of preconceived notions or ideas of how things are supposed to be. Midweek, Wednesday and Thursday, we have Two of Wands. And Two of Wands is all about contemplating where you want to go next. So this is an interesting card to get right after the Hierophant. So the Hierophant is about learning something and being open to learning. And then the next step is taking what you learn, taking that knowledge, taking those skills, and that is going to kind of shape what path you go on or what direction that you go on. So midweek, you're going to find yourself almost having to, not necessarily having to make a decision, but having to kind of get clear on what path you're wanting to take, what direction you want to go in. And here I think it's going to be important to really listen to your inner voice. So your intuition, perhaps your spirit guides, so do some meditating. Don't listen, well, I shouldn't say this, but you know, don't put too much emphasis on other people's opinions about what you should do. So beginning here is about consulting others to learn from them, but it's not about consulting others so that you know what to do. So it's not about someone telling you what to do or dictating to you what to do. It's about you listening to someone and learning whatever it is that they have to teach, so that you have a larger base from which to form an opinion, or a larger, I can't think of the word right now, but so that you have more of a tool bag, so that moving forward, making decisions will be easier for you because you're going to have more knowledge. Okay, so moving on to the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we have the Five of Pentacles. Whoa, all the cards fell down. Okay, so Five of Pentacles, and I like this particular Five of Pentacles. It shows a woman and a child, and they're out in the snow with this lantern, and they see a house that's all lit up. I feel like this is a more positive card than the Rider-Waite version. So Five of Pentacles, I feel like this is about, again, it's about accepting help and knowing where to look for help. So I think that if you're trying to make a decision about something, or even if you're just struggling, so you could be, maybe you're struggling financially, you're struggling to make something happen, that you want some, you're trying to manifest something or do something and you're really struggling, or maybe you just need some really good advice or some support or encouragement, whatever it is, at the end of the week, this is about being open to looking for help in unexpected places. So not the usual kinds of places. And I almost feel like this is about sort of putting that message out there to the universe, saying, okay, this is what I need, and now I'm going to open myself to receive this in any kind of form that it comes to me in. And then seeing kind of what happens. I feel like that's kind of what this weekend is going to be about. I'm just going to look at this card again to see if there's anything else that jumps out at me. Ultimately, I feel like this week is about understanding or stepping into the role of journeyer through our lives and understanding our path and staying on our path, and sometimes reaching out to others for help. So the beginning of the week with the Hierophant, I feel like this is about learning from someone else, learning a skill, learning something from another person. And then middle of the week is about kind of making choices, making decisions, getting clarity on where it is you want to continue to go. What direction do you want to go in? Where do you want to put your energy? And even when you get really clear on where it is you want to go and what's important to you, etc., it doesn't guarantee that the path is going to be easy. You're going to need help here and there. And that's where the Five of Pentacles comes in. That's saying that help is going to be there when you need it, but it's not necessarily going to come in a form that is familiar to you or in a way that you expect. It might be something totally unfamiliar. And I wish I could think of a good example of this, but my brain just feels fried right now. So I can't think of anything. Okay, so I'm going to zoom out here and look at these three cards together. See if there's anything else that jumps out at me. One thing I find kind of interesting, actually one thing that jumps out at me is the smoke from these torches and then the smoke from these chimneys. That kind of is interesting. But one thing that I find interesting is that when you look at this card, this one woman is facing us, but the other two people are facing her. And then in this card, the guy is kind of facing over to the left, and then in this card they're facing over to the right. So there's kind of all different, everyone's facing in different directions. So I feel like this week might be a bit of a chaotic week in some ways. You might feel kind of confused here and there throughout the week. This isn't necessarily going to be like a totally smooth sailing week, although nothing major is happening either. This is about, it's a week where there's going to be a lot of, self-discovery, a lot of journey work, things like that. But it also might be a week where you feel a little bit unsettled here and there, and yeah, just a little bit chaotic is even maybe too strong of a word, but just kind of a minor feeling of not being 100% sure about where you're going or if you're making the right choices. And I almost feel like this is kind of a saga. It's like to be continued next week to see what happens. But it kind of feels like this week, you might feel a little unsure of yourself here and there, and that's okay. That's part of it. That's totally normal. It's totally okay. Okay, so I hope that you found this reading helpful in some way. Thanks so much for watching. You can find out more about learning tarot cards on my website, dailytarotgirl.com. Have a wonderful week.